Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Big Bubba coming at you live through the power of the internet. I want to thank you for watching this video, and as you can see from the description, it is about the dismal season of the 2014 Philadelphia Eagles. So to start off, I do want to say they are my team. I bleed green and white. Got my Eagles shirt, my Eagles hat on, like always. They're my team. Now to dive right in, a lot of people have been asking me, hey man, do you think Nick Foles is going to start next year? In my eyes, I hope and pray he does. But I have seen articles about Chip Kelly saying, hey, we're not sure. So, does that suck? Yeah, it does. He's not sure who he's going to start next year, and that really does suck. In my eyes, I think it should be Nick Foles, because if you look at Nick Foles' records as a starter, he's 14-4. He has had a very good starting record. This year he had 13 TDs with 10 interceptions, so I will say that is my biggest pet peeve of him, is that Nick Foles needs to work on his interceptions. That's one of the biggest issues I'm having with him right now, is his interceptions. But hey, he's still young, he's still learning. Jeremy Maclin had a pretty good year this year, so I do think he's going to be back. I did hear that they're trying to restructure a deal with him. He had 1,318 yards for 10 TDs, and then LaShawn McCoy had 1,319 yards with 5 TDs. And it's funny because they're only a yard apart. Now the running back core with Chris Polk, LaShawn McCoy, and Darren Sproles, total, those four had 15 TDs, which is very good for running back core. The funny part about that, if you look at the stats, is Darren Sproles had 6 TDs when our starting running back, LaShawn McCoy, only had 5. So I do think there's going to be some decision making there. I think they're going to become a tandem team instead of you're our main guy and you're our backup. We'll see what happens. Running wide receivers, I think are going to be the same next year unless we pick up somebody in the draft. Now, Sanchez and Barkley. A lot of people have been asking about them. I was not very happy that they started Sanchez yesterday. Did he win? Yeah. In his last 4 starts, that is his first win. He's 3-1 this season as a starter with the Philadelphia Eagles. Not very good. Not good at all. If this is back in the Donovan McNabb era, Sanchez would have gotten 8 alive. But for some reason, it seems like the Eagles fans aren't as cutthroat as they used to be, except for some of them, like this guy. I do hear rumors that they're looking to re-sign Sanchez for another year. I hope it's not true. Never really liked Sanchez, never been a fan of him. I thought he came out of college way too soon. You know, he was in USC. I thought he could have stayed another year or two to perfect his craft, but he was one of those guys, kind of like a Matt Leinart, who came out too soon, and now where is he? You know, and Matt Leinart won national championships, 2 of them, and I don't even know who he plays for anymore. Same thing with Vince Young. You know, he came out right after he won the national championship, and where is he now? He doesn't even play anymore. You know, Jamarcus Russell. I mean, there's so many quarterbacks back with college that came out too early, and I do feel, or came out when they shouldn't have. And I do feel that Sanchez is a great example of that. Now, Barkley, I did feel that if we're going to leave him as a backup, he should have started yesterday. Would we have won? Who knows? Would we have lost? Who knows? But I would rather have seen a guy that is our backup play and know, okay, can he take the reins if Foles gets hurt next year? Because, hey, it can happen. I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping next year is a better season than this year. I do think in the draft we do need to fix some of the holes we have. One of the biggest holes I think we have right now is the offensive line. That, if you're a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, you saw at one point there was about 2 to 3 games where our offensive line, we maybe had 1 true starter on it, if any at all. I forget which game it was, but there was one game in particular, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I remember in the middle of that game we had no starters out there to protect Foles. And I have heard a lot of speculation from Tony Dungy and a lot of other big coaches that they feel that's part of why Foles got hurt is because he didn't have the protection he needed. I do feel that is one of our biggest issues. We need protection. We need to protect Nick Foles. Give him time. He can be a very extremely dangerous quarterback. And I also do feel that we need to do something about our secondary. Quarterbacks, safeties, all that. I think we need to do a new haul and kind of redo it all. I do think that's our biggest issue right now is our secondary and our defensive side. If you saw the last couple weeks, we've been going back and forth with secondary people. It's not good for stability. So I do think those are two of our biggest weaknesses right now, and two of the biggest places we need to address going into the draft. I do think we should probably pick up maybe a tight end or a new wide receiver, somebody that can step in and help Macklin here because I know there are rumors that a couple of guys are going to be on the chopping block. So who knows? I'm looking forward to a stellar 2015 year. I am very happy with Chip Kelly. I did hear rumors that he has been approached by numerous college teams to come back to the college game, and he has denied all of them. He did not want to become a Bill O'Brien where he promises his team he's going to stay but goes. As a lot of you know, Bill O'Brien did that to the Penn State Nittany Lions. He promised and swore he was going to stay, but then ended up leaving when the Texans called. Wasn't good. Then we got Franklin. We went to the bowl game, so we're good now. What's next for the Eagles? I don't know. I do hear that I have been hearing rumors there might be some changes in the coaching staff, and I did hear a little bit that Chip Kelly's looking to improve his defense, which is something we do need to improve. So that's a big deal. I'm looking forward to a stellar 2015. I am hoping Nick Foles is our starter. And let me just end this video by saying this. Eagles, I'm kind of disappointed in you. You guys are my team, and you guys kind of got lazy. After Nick Foles got hurt, you guys gave up. You kind of were like, whatever, and you guys thought you guys could just coast into Dallas to Washington and beat them. And you kind of gave up. If you guys would have won those two games, we would have won the division. We would have been in playoffs. But unfortunately, you guys screwed up. There's no excuse for that. You guys screwed up. You guys gave up. It's okay. We got next year yet, and I'm hoping we can get back to being that team we were back when Don Nab had the reins, where we were in the NFC Championships, in the Super Bowl. I'm hoping eventually, before I die, we get one ring. So that's the video today. Like, subscribe, favorite. Big Bubba out.